love with racing, then you'll love the new betting brand for racing fans. With exclusive markets, promotions, insights and content. That's better. Chances are you're about to lose.
The main event for Punters Inside Run this week is day one of the Champs, and what a day it is. 4 Group 1s. We're going to cover 2. The first one is the Doncaster Shark, and it's always a fantastic race. It's about $6.50 the field here. You could pick 10 horses and miss it. It's a great race.
Absolutely. Look, you're going to get a price about whatever you like, aren't you, Matty? It's a super tough race. Throw in a few imports that we haven't seen before. Throw in some favoured runners and the 3-year-olds who we love backing in these big mile handicaps from wide gates. There's a few conundrums to be picked apart. Let's
talk about a couple. Mr. Brightside looking to back up after winning the All-Star Mile. Won it last year, but goes up in weight. That's the key, but is a 1,600 metre specialist.
1,600 metre specialist. Up in weight, yes, but I would argue 55.5 is
still winnable.
Within his range.
Yeah.
I think he's a much better horse than he was when he won it last year. The other key thing with Mr. Brightside is Zach Purton takes the ride. So absolute world class. Some say best jockey in the world at the moment. Jumps on Mr. Brightside. Hard to beat.
I think I don't think Alligator Blood can turn the tables on Mr. Brightside. What about Fangirl? Is Anamo's hay list? And there's no Anamo here.
Well, true, but she's drawn barrier 19.
Yeah.
So extremely hard from the outside gate. Will take a crafty ride to get her into a position from which she can win. You have to put her in the quaddie because of the strength of the form around her. I can't back her though.
All right, where did you land for your top 3?
I'm with one of these imports, Protagonist, who we saw first up at 2,000 metres on speed and really, really tough to the line. Zayrek was second in that race. Zayrek comes out, wins its next start. Protagonist comes back to the mile, but tumbles down the handicap with 50 kilos on its back. Ben Thompson takes the ride, and Ben Thompson and Steph Thornton just announcing during the week that they're expecting their first. So maybe it's a little bit of a cherry on the top for them.
I don't know if Protagonist works in with that somehow, but...
maybe not.
Your other 2 numbers?
I'm with Mr. Brightside number 2 and Fangirl for 3rd, just on the strength of that form. If she gets luck, I think she'll be running on to the top 4.
I've got one Zugotcha here. I just thought Zugotcha, just a lot of the stats sort of add up here. It's been a long time since a 3-year-old filly won the race. In fact, you've got to go back to Sunline, but I'm hoping for a soft track. It's soft at the moment. I hope it stays there. Both runs have been terrific so far, but they've been on a good surface. She excels on soft, drops down to that 50.5 kilos. We talk about having no weights, the same way that Mr. Brightside carried last year. And the last time in that sort of situation won the Group 1 race, the Flight. I've got Mr. Brightside, as you mentioned, you can't discount over 1,600 metres. Zach Purton, last time we saw him, flew in, flew out with 2 Group 1s. And I've got Converge, who seems to be back to his best.
Great run last
night. It took it almost the length of the straight for Animo to catch Converge. So 2 out of 3 third up and drops to 52 kilos. So Converge for me. All right, let's talk about the TJ Smith. And is this the best sprint race we've seen for a while?
It's Everest quality, isn't it?
It is Everest quality. And I reckon that, interesting betting-wise, GIGA KICK seems to be drifting. In Secret seems to be coming in. I can't see why GIGA KICK is drifting.
I can't see why either. I think GIGA KICK is a better horse than In Secret. I think his first up run in that challenge was massive. 1,000 metres, well, I don't think he's a 1,000 metre horse. Yes, he might have been able to get away with 1,000 and 1,100 metres as a 3-year-old against lesser company. But as he steps up to this class, I think we'll see him 12 and 1,400 perhaps. Maybe towards an all-aged, he might bob up in a race like that in a couple of weeks' time. He's a very, very talented sprinter. I think he's the heir to the throne of Nature Strip, and I think he'll win.
Speaking of Nature Strip, going to for a 4th TJ, has won a couple coming off defeats, and now would pass Chautauqua if it gets forward.
They say his gallop a week ago was the Nature Strip of old. Now, let's hope that he hasn't left it on the track and that he still has some fire in the belly, and we can see him in his favourite race, arguably, the TJ, get to somewhere near his best. You know, champions with backs against the wall. Matty, he doesn't know his back's against the wall, but you can't write them off, can you, those great horses?
You certainly can't. Let's have your top 3 then for the TJ. I think you've got GIGA KICK on top.
Yeah, number 10. Yeah, GIGA KICK on top. I think Private Eye will run a massive race. He was so good in the Everest last year. Nature Strip in for 3rd. They're my top 3, but you could have In Secret and others in there as well.
I've got GIGA KICK on top. I'm not dropping off, and I'm staying with a 3-year-old filly In Secret. I think she's the best 3-year-old filly in the country. Goes up a couple of kilos on the Newmarket win, but she was terrific down the straight at Flemington. And I Wish I Win. It's doing nothing wrong. Placings in both Group 1 races in the Lightning and the Oakley. So I'll go with I Wish I Win. 2 runs have been terrific. It's going to be a terrific race. And we've also got the Sydney Cup and the Sires produce, but let's have your best bets and your value at Randwick.
I think the best bet is in race 4, number 3, Sequestered, in the Adrian Knox. Look, she's short. She's about $2.50, $2.60 mark last time I looked, but her 2 wins leading into this have been pretty dominant. I think she wants to get out to this 2,000 metres, and there's a lot of these that are just fresh out of maiden grade, and they probably don't look like they can take that leap ahead.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, value bet race 10, number 5, Magic Time for Graham Begg, who is such a good trainer, and when he takes these horses into state, they are ready. Recent jump out was sublime. I think she's a great price each way in the last.
Yeah, I black booked Magic Time when I saw that second win, but I'm the same as you. I've got Sequestered as the best bet of the day at Randwick, and I've gone with Full of Sincerity to win the Sydney Cup. Went back to the 2000 after being behind Sharp and Smart in the New Zealand Derby, but got home, didn't do anything special, but the last 200 freshened up. It was the fastest 200 and off a 7-day backup and gets the world-class Damien Lane in the saddle. So at odds, Full of Sincerity for me as the best value. Well, that's it for Sydney.
Can't wait, man. It's a massive day. Championships is a great meeting, and yeah, looking forward to week 1.
All right, that's Sydney covered. Next up, we'll take a look at the great man with his perm. We'll also try and find the quaddy at Bendigo.
If you're in love with racing, then you'll love the new betting brand for racing fans. With exclusive markets, promotions, insights and content. That's better. Chances are you're about to lose.